If you're watching this and you're watching this as someone that wants to grow, do not do this. The goal is to go and win the British title in the junior bodybuilding class. I'm not going to mess about. I'm going to tell you exactly what I want, exactly what I'm going to get, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do to get there. Let's go. Let's get out. Like this. Come on. Right guys, welcome back to the Junior Bodybuilding series. So we are episode, is it 25 or 24? It's one or the other, it doesn't really matter. 25. Let's go with 25, yeah, 25 sounds nice. So yeah, pretty cool, 25 episodes in. So you've seen a lot in those 25 episodes. Last session you actually saw, which hasn't been uploaded yet, but it will be by the time you've seen this obviously, is the week out video, the last proper session for back, which me and Fisty trained together. It was before the Body by O, which is the Two Bros event that we decided to jump in early, so first show of the season. It went well, won the junior category, which we expected, and obviously was the goal, so that's qualified me now for the Arnolds. So we're going to do the Arnolds UK, the first ever Arnolds in the UK. That would be a massive achievement, and it would mean a lot to me if I can win the first ever Arnolds UK junior category. So yeah, that would be good for the CV, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be
good. Be alright.
Good for the channel as well.
Yeah, it would be good, and it would back up the old bullshit of saying the Junior Bodybuilding Series. Junior Bodybuilding Series. Junier Bodybuilding Series.
The Junior Bodybuilding Series.
Junior Bodybuilding Series. This is the Junior Bodybuilding Series, wasn't it? So,
yeah.
So yeah, that's the goal. That was always the plan, but we qualified earlier than planned. So I should have actually been competing today. Today is where the graftism is taking place. So it's 5th of September today. But obviously I done 2 weeks ago, which was the Body by O. Anyway, the reason I done that is because I wanted to have a longer prep for the PCA Welsh, which is now, we have 6 days out. So this is going to qualify me, hopefully, for the British finals in mid-October, which will be the last one of the season, following the Arnolds. So that was always the plan. The plan was to get to the Arnolds and get to the British finals. We didn't really know how we were going to do it. We had a rough plan, but we've done it. We've got the Body by O, that's ticked off. I did actually jump in the men's category. I made the heavyweights. I didn't place. Happy with the photos, and I was one of the biggest guys up there on the men's heavyweight stage. I only just made the cut off. I weighed in at 225 pounds and the cut off was 225.5. So it's nice to know that I've got the size to compete with the men's heavyweights. The only thing, and the feedback from the judge, which was really positive feedback, which he didn't really have to say. He said that I had massive potential to become pro within a few years. So apparently he doesn't blow smoke up people's arse either. So I've taken that as a nice compliment, but something that was the goal long term anyway. But to have it backed up by someone else who's got no reason to blow smoke up my ass, it was nice to receive. And they said that all of the judges were kind of very impressed with how much size I was carrying as a junior, and to be able to go on step on stage with the men. The only thing that was lacking was condition, which was obvious because we jumped in a show early, so we knew I already talked about it. I said I wasn't going to be 100%, but this time now we've really ramped up the cardio. Cardio's been the highest it's ever been following the Body by O comp to get in condition and sharp for the Welsh, which I'm hoping that we've achieved now, and I'm hoping I'll be around. I still won't be 100% for the Welsh, I know that, because we're saving that for the Arnolds and for the British finals. But hoping to be my best ever, definitely, for the Welsh, which is in 6 days' time. So what you're going to see is a little bit different this time, because we're so close now. We've got legs today, the last leg session. And this will be not the typical nasty leg session. It's going to be 50% volume. So the easiest way to do that is instead of doing 2 sets for each exercise, we're now doing 1. So we're just cutting volume in half. And we are going to concentric failure. So where I always talk about take everything to complete failure, by taxing the eccentrics as well, and taxing absolutely everything to the point where you can no longer support that load in any form of contraction, we're actually only taking it to concentric failure. So we're extremely controlled, and as soon as that muscle stops moving concentrically, we just let it go. So it's not as fun to watch, but it's a little something you can learn if you are getting close to a comp. At the end of the day, 6 days out, you're not training to grow, you're training to look your best on the show now. Now is about showing how good you look, and creating a lot of fatigue, water retention from inflammation, from essentially breaking down muscles, which is what happens when you train to complete failure to grow. We don't want to be doing that, because we want to be making everything look as sharp as possible now, reducing the inflammation, reducing the water retention, and just training to get blood in there, to basically deplete the muscle as much as possible now before we start carving up. So I'll talk about that. I'm going to actually be doing a full-on peak week video. I won't have Sunny with me for this, because I'll be recording bits every day and making it into a sort of vlog, to show you exactly what we're doing for this peak, and I'll talk about that another time. So yeah, this is just all about the session. This is all about the last leg session, 6 days out, PCA Welsh. We're coming to win the juniors again. We watched the PCA show today. He's very bored.
So no, it's not you. It's because I went out last night. Sorry.
Yeah, he went out again last night.
Sorry.
We won't talk about that though, because it's shocking behaviour. But yeah, anyway, yeah, we watched the PCA today because they had another show on, and the juniors actually had a pretty stacked lineup. So I hope that they bring another stacked lineup to the juniors, so that I can come out on top and be like,
smash them.
This is top dog's here. And it's always better when there's more people in the class, because I'm a competitive person. I like competition. I don't want to stand there next to one guy and be like, yeah, I beat him, but I want to beat a lot of people. So anyone who wants to step up as a junior, they can come.
Me?
Yeah, if you fancy it.
Sounds.
Yeah,
Well,
sorted. I don't know if they deem you of reasonable enough quality to
No,
step on
maybe
stage.
not.
Not this stage.
No.
Maybe if he stops going out.
Maybe.
But anyway, yeah, let's get on with it, because he's got to rush off and meet the birds. I'm allowed to say that.
You can say it, yeah.
So we've got to get this done pretty quick as well. And yeah, that's it. So I'll talk you through the rest of the session as we go. It's going to be the same session, just training like a pussy. I don't want to say it, but that's what it is.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Train
So
like a
let's do
pussy.
it. Right, so we're 3 exercises in, so it's the standard leg session as you normally saw. I think the last one you saw. So we've done adductor, cervix hamstring curl, leg extension. We're using the usual back off weight as a one and only working set of that load. I'm exaggerating the tempo more than I usually would, so the reps are actually down. And like I said, as soon as a concentric failure, I think you'll understand now from seeing it, and Sonny's definitely noticed. He said, it's weird, it's like watching you, it's like an anticlimax. It's like you get to the point where those reps, you know those last reps, the grow reps, the ones that you see us do and you don't see many people do?
Oh, come on! Yes! Finish the rep! Fucking finish it! Yeah!
I got you, fucker! Yeah!
Yes, right. Come on!
The ones that count, the ones that allow you to progress so fast and grow, they're the ones we're cutting out now. So it's hard for me to deal with mentally, even though I know it's right and it's what needs to be done. It feels like I'm not giving it all, you know, which I'm not. I'm purposely not giving everything to the set. So if you're watching this and you're watching this as someone that wants to grow, do not do this. This is something that is very unique and specific to the point we're in, where we're trying to peak for a show. And I'm just doing what my coach tells me, and I know this is right anyway, but it's just it's heartbreaking to come in and train like this when you're so used to loving training, and the part I love about training is going balls to the wall. But anyway, another thing I was going to touch on was just how I'm looking at the moment. The way you're seeing me at the moment, like as you can see, you've probably seen me look a lot better than this in the past. Normally I'd be bursting full, Not ridiculously full in prep obviously, but a lot fuller than this. Since the show, we've pushed so hard that I'm the flattest I've ever been. And what I mean by flat is completely depleted of any glycogen, so the energy stores are completely low, because we've tried to strip off as much fat as possible. The goal isn't to get flat, but essentially you have to kind of get flat when you're pushing this hard to remove all of the fat. I know this is sounding like it's rhyming, but I think I've touched on flat before. If you're not familiar with the term, it's when the muscle is just completely empty of energy, if I'm making it into easy to understand terms.
You used like a balloon?
Yeah, I did. I said, yeah, so I have said it. Yeah, that's exactly the analogy I would use. But anyway, so what happens when you're extremely flat is the muscle looks deflated, and as you can tell, like my legs right now, there's almost no veins. There's almost no veins there at all, because there's no energy, there's no glycogen, there's no what's it called? There's no pop to the muscle, no fullness. When I'm touching my skin, like you can see, I know obviously I'm familiar with this because I know my body inside out. But like, it's not hard at all, it's really soft and deflated, and the skin moves. And normally when you're training legs and you've got a pump, and you've got enough, if you're in the off season, or even if you've carved up or had a refeed while you're on prep, your skin will be extremely tight, veins will be popping everywhere, the muscle will be hard. So right now it's the complete opposite. It's demoralizing when you've given so much and you're so close to a show. You have to make yourself look so bad, and when you get this close to a show, anxiety can creep in if you don't keep your head on, because you're like, shit, I'm making myself look shit, I look flat, I look terrible. Every time you see yourself in the mirror, you're looking worse and worse every day, because you're purposely going through this process so that it's Sunday today, come Wednesday or Thursday, we'll be doing the complete opposite and putting the carbs all the way back in, having a nice feed up into the show, keep an eye on how I'm looking after meal by meal, watching the process, because these things happen fast, which I'll talk about in my next video, which will be the peak week video, and you'll see all this. And yeah, you realise that I will, your body's ability to uptake all of that glycogen and store it in the muscle will be that much more better and responsive, because I've depleted myself so much. If I do not do this now properly, then I will not be able to uptake the nutrients that I need to as well as I could be. So that's the reason we go through this process of looking worse to look that much better on stage. But like I said, I'll talk to you in detail on that next video. So right now we just got to get the rest of the session done before Fitz has to go. So yeah, we're on to Cybex leg press. We got one set again, not to failure, and then we've got one hack squat and one glute drive, not glute drive, hyperextension, and that's it. That's legit. So yeah, and I got steps to do, 15k today, so I'll knock that out after Sunny's gone. But yeah, let's do it. Right guys, so that's the session done. We've lost Fitzy. He's left us for more important priorities. He's meeting a bird, so you can't really blame him. At the end of the day, I've got my mate Llew with me still, so he was watching over me for the last few sets. But yeah, that's the session done. Like I said, nothing exciting. To be honest, at this point, I've given so much to the last 2 weeks on top of the prep to chip off as much as possible and get in condition. I'm glad this week's come around because I feel like I've given absolutely everything. I couldn't have given more, and that's all that matters. So when I stand up there now in 6 days' time, I'm going to absolutely love it, enjoy it again, because again, at this point in time, in my, I don't want to call it career because I haven't really started yet, but at this point in time, I could not be better than I am on that day. I've given everything to this. So, and I'll continue to do that throughout the rest of this season until we have time to actually improve and grow throughout the next 2 years when we have that off season again and that opportunity to be twice as big and put on as much mass as possible. So right now it's about getting in the best condition I can with the muscle I have got, and it'll be interesting actually because I have no idea what the game plan is going to be following the Welsh, so it will be interesting to see what Callum has in store. I feel like we're at the point now where we're going to have to start reversing calories up and not growing into the show, but maintaining that full look and bringing size to the juniors, because I think that's definitely going to be my strong point. When we're talking about me going up against the men, I need to come in as sharp as possible, literally as conditioned as possible, because the men are going to be bigger than me. But in the juniors, I feel like I'm going to be the biggest one there, or one of the biggest ones there. So it's not a case of me, it's not a dieting contest. I think people forget that with bodybuilding sometimes. It's not about how shredded you can be, it's about bringing the full package and your strong points. So when I'm talking about me being in the juniors, I've got the size, so I don't want to sacrifice too much of that just to come in stupidly conditioned. I need to kind of play to my strengths a little bit. So yeah, we'll see what the game plan is. It might be that I need to be more conditioned, so I'll have to keep chipping away. Or if I'm kind of happy with the condition I've got, it might be about bringing as full a look as I can. So we'll discuss that after the Welsh, so wish me the best for that. But we've got a peak week video coming your way for the Welsh first, which will actually include a day of eating throughout the whole thing. So that's why I've planned it for that, because I've been banging on about it for ages. You've been banging on about it for ages. So make sure you subscribe to watch that video, like this video. Let's see how the season goes. We're bringing home as many titles as possible, so let's do it. And yeah, thank you, and I'll see you soon. I just do this because I absolutely fucking love it.